Welcome to the Vendor Vows podcast. I'm Ben.
And I'm Macy.
And we hope to connect you with some of the best wedding vendors in the Central Texas area.
While you're planning your own wedding, we desire for you to learn about the wedding industry and make your wedding planning a bit easier and less stressful. You'll learn about what really goes into being a wedding vendor and why we do the things that we do, all while getting to know each vendor on a more personal level. So thanks for joining us and enjoy the show.
What's up, everybody? This is the Vendor Vows podcast, brand new show, first episode. I'm Ben.
I'm Macy.
Macy Kasner, photography, right?
Yep. Macy Kasner, photography. Okay. And I also do Perfect Proposal Co. I just went brain dead. Perfect Proposal Co. with my husband, Preston. And then so photography, videography. I am the owner of the Wedding Filmery. So we're both been doing weddings for a while. Yes.
And this is our first episode of the podcast to connect couples with vendors, to educate couples about what they can expect when planning their wedding. Kind of get to know vendors on a personal level, just kind of more casual setting space than a stressful, just chaotic wedding sometimes. So
we've been there.
Yeah. So hopefully this will be hopefully easy to make decisions in the wedding process and just kind of
inform the wedding community.
Yeah, just have a little fun doing it. So
yeah. So be ready for some chaotic videoing.
Yes.
Okay, so
sure.
Ben, how did you start wedding video?
So I started wedding videos. My first wedding, I guess, was in 2013 or 14. And yeah, it was a while ago.
It's been a while. What, 10 years ago?
Yeah, 10 years ago. I've been doing video since 2012, I guess.
Did you go to college?
I did go to college. Was that did you go to college?
Did you even go to college? Because I didn't.
Did you not?
Well,
really?
I went to one semester at Temple College, and I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah. Were you doing photos?
Well, I did photos. I've done photos since I was 13, but that was when you're a kid and you're like, hey, your friend, can you go stand in front of my bike and do a cool photo in the driveway? That was me.
Nice.
It got serious when I was an adult, though.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Cool.
So what did you go to college for, though?
So I went to Baylor to study business. Oh. Well, not necessarily to study business. I went to go. They started a new program called Music and Entertainment Marketing. Okay. And so I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. I was really into...
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, because I was into playing guitar and stuff. I played all throughout high school.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah.
Little chameleon.
Yeah, so I wasn't good enough to write my own music. And
cool.
So I was like, oh, that sounds fun.
A humble king.
Yeah. And it was through the business school, so I had to go take accounting and...
Oh, nice.
And all those kind of classes, but I was just terrible at it. I would fall asleep and just...
Love that.
Yeah, so I failed accounting and was like, all right, I need to switch majors because this isn't it. So switched to film. Film and digital media is what it's called, but just kind of did it to get a degree and graduate. Never thought anything of it.
Did you plan on being a wedding videographer?
No, not at all.
Just kind of happened.
Yeah, I feel like that's how most videographers and photographers start.
Seriously, I don't even... People talk about well, how did you start your business? It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't that intentional. Then you get your first wedding and then you're like, oh, wow, this is actually fun.
Yeah.
You know? I actually used to hate weddings.
Yeah.
Hate photographing weddings. But I wasn't actually... prepared for them. I think I was so young and I was there were really low budget weddings, which is totally fine. But, once you get your equipment down and you get your systems down, you're like, okay, I actually love weddings. Right. And that was for me though. Yeah. I don't know about other people, but.
Yeah. Yeah. So that first wedding was in 2013 and then it was just for couple of my friends that were getting married, and they knew I had a camera, and that's usually
well,
how it goes.
You have a camera, and you're like, "Hey, bud, can you come out here?"
And then that was it. And then I never thought like anything of it
here
until like 2 or 3 years later, Like I hadn't done another one.
I see.
Until later in like 2015 or 16.
Dang.
So I was living in Lubbock then, and the wedding was here in Waco, and so it was just that kind of kicked it off, I guess. Just started doing it on the side then.
And now you're doing it full time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. What about you? So you kind of started young with photos.
Yeah. Well, my mom had a Canon camera, like a Canon Rebel.
Okay.
And my dad got it for her anniversary when I was like 13. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So I would steal it and I would like go do photo shoots in like the driveway with my friends and stuff like that. But it really was like a constant in my life, always having photos.
Right.
You know, always playing with the camera, learning about it. I used to watch YouTube videos like when that was really big, like back, you know, I don't know when, 2014, I guess. When I was a child, you were an adult. Not to like talk about that, but yeah, so basically, you know, I've always played with it. And but yeah, I mean, that's basically, and then I got older, I went through high school, did yearbook, you know, stuff like that. I would do photo shoots on the side for like $25, $50, right? You know, just like because it was fun and I needed money for gas.
Yeah.
And so basically I started doing that, but then when I got to like, when I was like out on my own, like, well, I've never been on my own. I've always been with my husband. So I never had to live on my own. But basically like on your own, you know, I started like getting into like photography for like Mom 365. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's like a contract company within the hospital of Baylor Scott and White. I think they do more hospitals. It's like more like a worldwide thing.
Newborns?
Yeah, it's like newborns in the postpartum floor at the hospital. And so I did that while I went to TC for 1 semester.
Nice.
And you didn't make any money though doing that Mom 365 stuff, but luckily I did it because I was really passionate about it, right? So but anyways, it led me to a job opening at the hospital in Temple for a medical photographer.
Oh, cool.
Which was like really a once in a lifetime job for me.
What exactly are you photographing?
I would photograph anywhere between nudies for people, like naked people, like getting breast reductions, getting tummy tucks.
I was like, why are you?
Yeah, you know, send nudes through the hospital, right? Edit that out. But basically, just like photos of a backdrop, and there was like people that would just stand there butt naked, and you would take photos of like their boobs, of their butt, of their sides, of their face, like anywhere from between like nose reconstruction, you know, literally anything and everything that you think of cosmetic surgery. But also it would start there and it would also land anywhere in the OR. You would do like photos of like big operations, photos of like stuff I don't even know what it was. Like I would go in the operating room and like these doctors would just tell me to stand on a pedestal and get up there, lean over a cavity of a body.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've gotten wobbly one time and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna fall into the cavity. But basically, that never happened.
Have you ever seen Seinfeld?
No.
Okay, yeah, you're too young.
Yeah. We're not the same. We're not there. But basically, I would like lean over, and the doctors would take like these little plier things, and they were like, take a picture of this vein, take a picture of this, and they would just like mesh through. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Like a once in a lifetime job.
Crazy.
I loved it, and I was there during COVID and all the things. And so basically, when COVID hit, it really changed my.
Oh, you're doing that during COVID?
Yeah, I was there during COVID. I was considered an essential employee, which I don't understand why. Everything was down. Like there wasn't a lot of surgeries happening because you know. So anyways, I basically did that, and it was a really amazing job. Just like all kinds of stuff. I saw like, I went to pathology, would see eyeballs on the table or see like toes just hanging out.
What the
like
heck?
half of a small intestine with peas inside of it, like from a previous dinner. It was morbid. It was fun though. It was like adrenaline. It was like I wasn't educated enough to know what this was, but I was there for some reason.
Yeah.
And it really was fun. I met a lot of great people. I miss my coworkers a lot, but basically when COVID hit, I was like, I have got to figure this out because I didn't know if they were going to cut us or not because it was a small department. So anyways, wedding photography, here I come. I was doing photography on this like full time, like both being at the hospital, full time outside of the hospital. You know, I was getting married and all the things. And so basically, yeah, now I'm here. What's up?
We made it.
We made it. Hire me for your wedding.
We finally did it.
So, I mean, that's my long story though.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty gross. I could not do that.
It was weird. Like, and also it was really awkward a lot of times because, I would have to, tell people like, you're going to have to get butt naked for me on this blue backdrop.
Yeah.
And you would have no idea. It was just a room beside the cafeteria at the hospital. Like, I know, right? I had to like lock the door, and like every now and then a janitor would come in and like try to open the door.
Oh no.
And they're like, and I'm like, hide your boobs. So, but seriously, like it was such a cool job. It's still there. I mean, it's kind of like one of those things that people don't really know about until you have to use them for like something. But yeah.
That's wild.
It is wild.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It was fun though. I did a lot of stuff for like when COVID happened, it turned kind of more PR because, it wasn't as much patient stuff going around. So we kind of like captured a lot of like shots and like the COVID, like how it's affecting the department and stuff and how it's affecting the hospital. And there's some really cool people there and talented photographers there that do it still. So
yeah. Shout
out to my BSW folks. They're like, hey, Macy's on there.
So that's when you started Macy Kasner?
Well, I had it going before then.
Oh,
it's
just
been
like
kind
on
of
the side.
always been the background,
yeah.
Right? It's always been in the background, but I definitely was doing full-time my own work outside of the hospital. So I was really busy and I was miserable.
Okay. So you were like doing full-time work?
Yes, on my
own.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Gotcha.
I'd started like I did everything. I didn't specialize in weddings then because I was just more or less like trying to make money.
Right.
Because I was getting married. Things were expensive trying to buy a home. And I loved it no matter what I did. But I wasn't specializing in weddings. No.
Right.
When I quit, about a year before I quit, 2021 is when I started weddings, like full time. Like only weddings.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay, 2021.
Yeah, 2021. That was the year it kind of roughed out from everything.
Yeah.
So
kind of picked up a little bit.
I guess. Things started picking up. The wedding industry started picking up. But truthfully, I don't think people realize that even though COVID happened, weddings were still happening.
Right.
Like people, yes, it was harder. There was less people that came to weddings, but they were still happening.
Yeah.
You know, people were still getting photo shoots. If photography and videography can make it through COVID,
right,
we can make it.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of people had to reschedule their weddings.
Yeah, they did.
But there's still some that were like
smaller weddings.
Yeah, a lot of smaller weddings.
Yes,
for
a
sure.
lot of smaller weddings.
Or like having the ceremony during COVID, and then having like the reception party, maybe even another ceremony for like everybody else.
It was still happening for sure. People were still getting engaged. People still wanted family photos. I mean, it was just one of those things. It was definitely hard. I remember having to like, have my clients like let them know we're gonna be outside. It's gonna be okay. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But like definitely now, I feel like it's way back to normal.
Yeah.
At
yeah, definitely.
I think it is.
I know like a lot of other people are talking about like the whole like COVID shift of, 2020 brides are pushing their dates to 2021.
Oh, it was.
And then
that's
now
crazy.
it's like kind of getting back to normal. But now like since nobody was, they say nobody was like dating like back during COVID, because a lot of people say it takes like 2 to 3 years to get engaged
and plan a wedding.
Yeah,
most of the time, right?
So now like a lot of people are saying that it's lower.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I've heard a lot.
But we're also in Texas, so it's like
true. I have heard like my photographer friends saying that 2025 bookings have been different.
Right.
Like people aren't getting as much bookings for 2025. Roughly, my 2024 year has landed like 20 or 25 to 30 bookings for weddings.
Right.
I don't know about you.
Yeah. Yeah, usually like 20, 25.
Yeah, pretty normal. It's a lot though.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
It's a lot of work, and
it's a lot of work. I mean, I'd be working for those bookings.
Right.
Like, I'll take you out to dinner. Whatever you want. I'll just book me for your wedding. I'll be your best friend.
I'll do whatever.
I'll do whatever. Give me your money.
That's awesome.
No. It's fun though.
So, I guess we should talk about how we got connected, how we met, because you're in Temple.
Belton Temple.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm in Waco, and it's like, what, 40
yeah,
minutes?
It's about 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I moved here in Waco in November of 2022 to quit. I quit my 9-to-5 and moved back home to start my businesses, and then I literally think it's like the first week or 2 weeks of moving here.
Yeah.
Is when you called me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. We should add some type of music when you called me. Basically, I was doing some work for Central Texas Engagements Magazine, which is a really awesome magazine if you ever are a bride looking to, find some really good vendors. It is on the shelf at a lot of local places in the area, and Ben is actually in there as well. But basically, I was working with Michelle, the owner of that magazine, and I was looking for some really awesome vendors to see if they wanted to advertise with them. And I was like, they need a videographer so bad. I think that was something that just wasn't in there. And I found Ben on Instagram, and so I messaged him, saying like, hey, I have wanting to chat with you a little bit. And so we talked, and he kind of got into the Central Texas Engagements family of that. And then we started doing weddings together.
Right.
It kind of fell into place where we kind of would recommend each other. We done I don't know how many not a whole lot, but we've done some. We know we work well together for sure.
Enough to start a podcast, I guess.
Enough to start a podcast. So, but basically, I think that's kind of how we created our friendship. And we've kind of, done styled shoots together, done branding photos together. We've done a lot together. Behind the scenes and at weddings, so it's been fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, because it's when I first moved here, I didn't even really think about doing weddings.
Really, I didn't know that.
Because I was going to do more corporate commercial type stuff, which I still do, but
sure,
it's kind of like a 50-50 thing now. But when I moved here, I was like, I'm just gonna go all in on creating content for businesses and stuff. And then
plot twist.
Yeah, and then you called, and then I was like, oh, well, I guess there's a need for wedding videographers.
I feel like there is. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of same videographers in the area that I always work with, and I'm like, there's not. I'm sure there's a lot that I don't know of, but
True.
I know it was definitely needed.
Right.
For when we were looking.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you were like, hey, you texted me. You're like, hey, what do you think of a podcast?
Yeah.
And I just said YES and capitals.
Yeah.
And so it kind of just worked out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I was driving to Lubbock for a wedding that day, and I was listening to another wedding podcast that's more geared for wedding videographers, and it wasn't even about podcasting or anything. It was just it was about content creators for weddings.
Oh, okay.
And then for whatever reason that made me think of the podcast, because I thought about it for a while.
Yeah.
And then that was the pushing factor, I guess.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Why text me? Why did you think I would be a good co-host?
Bump
up my ego a little bit. Give me some compliments. I'm asking for them. Tell me.
I didn't. You were my last one that that was on the list. Yeah, I mean, we worked well together, so and it's fun to be around each other and be around all the other people that we hang out with. And
I feel like we have a good little wedding friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like we work well together.
For sure. And so I was like,
she's fine. She'll do.
Yeah, I guess she'll work. I honestly was kind of nervous when I sent that text. I was like,
that's a stupid idea.
Well, I was like, have you ever thought about doing a podcast? And then almost instantly you were like, yes.
I love that stuff. I love listening to things and hearing people's side of the story, but also being educational though, because we all start from somewhere that we have no idea what we're doing.
Right.
And I don't ever want to feel like I know exactly what I'm doing, because a lot of times I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's just being human though.
Yeah.
Right. But I also I was excited because I remember being a bride when I married my husband, and it's even being a photographer and doing weddings, it is still such an unknown. You don't really realize what all goes into it. So I was super excited to us to be able to educate people about what it's like to do our jobs, but also what it's like to be a bride and groom. One of these days you'll get there. Ben's single.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be weird and just because I don't even really like attending weddings anymore, because I'm just what do I what does it say here? And
I'm not crying, I have something in my eye. But I feel like for you, like, I think it's good that we have two different point of views, though, because I'm looking at a point of view of, like, going through the process of getting married, getting engaged,
Right.
dating, and, like, for, you know, and then also being post-wedding, but being a girl and understanding what it's like there, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, in that department. And then you, like, you kind of see it from a different point of view of being incredibly single.
Wow, incredibly. Dang, okay.
No, but like also being a guy and like
Right.
sharing your point of view too, because you know you hear a lot from women. I feel like about what it's like to be a bride and this and this, but I think you have a really good point of view too to put in the pot. You know.
Right, yeah. Because most grooms are just like, just tell me what time the ceremony
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And
Literally.
I'll be there.
Yeah, but I think you like you're you know you also share like a really good example of like other point of views that we don't always think about. You know.
Right, right.
Because a lot of videographers are men.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, at
That
least
isn't the
80%. I feel like the ones I've, you know.
the last wedding I did, the photographers were both male, and I was like, that's the first like, and then so we had two videographers, and the whole team were guys.
So 2 photographers, 2 videographers.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so like I think that's the first
I've
time that's
never seen
ever
that.
happened.
I have never seen that. That's a plot twist.
Yeah.
But yeah, most videographers are men.
Yeah.
And I mean,
And most photographers
are women.
Yeah. So
So, I mean,
of.
I have like one photographer guy friend that I know, and that's Scott.
Oh, okay.
Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Scott.
Who's
But like, yeah, that's literally it though. I mean, I don't really know
Yeah.
anybody else.
I don't know any like women videographers.
I don't either.
I know of
Oh,
one in
I know.
Lubbock or in Amarillo,
Okay.
but
I know I think I know like 2 maybe, but I've never worked alongside them or anything. I know like
Okay.
on Instagram and stuff. But yeah, I mean,
Right.
truthfully, and I think maybe people like bride and groom should know that like you're more than likely your videographer's probably going to be a guy. Your
Right.
photographer's probably going to be a girl. But I think that is good to have the half and half.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do feel like it's good to have like a girl and a guy duo team because I feel like there are such vastly different point of views that we shoot through like
Yeah.
our work. Like I feel like guys are a lot more like wide angle, natural lighting. Is that is that true, or am I just being stereotyping?
That's how I am. Well, lately I've been really been into like the wide angles,
Yeah.
the wider lenses, and yeah. I mean, it's not like we're gonna bring like lights
Yeah.
to every part of the wedding. I'll use it for receptions, but
Gotcha. Yeah, that's one thing I definitely don't have to deal with, and I'm thankful for.
yeah.
I have my top flash.
I mean,
but
photographers just come out
Yeah,
with
the
their
little
little backpack and like a
looking
lunchbox
cute. Yeah, snackies.
on the way to school, and then I got like this huge like dolly of. I mean, for this podcast, I have 4 bags right there.
Yeah, you have a lot of stuff over there in the background. You can't even walk.
Yeah, and
Yep.
so I mean, I've got more stuff in the car for.
That's insane. Yeah, definitely. I just brought my little purse, my little mini purse on my hip, and my notebook, and I'm like, hey Ben, you guys like a bunch of stuff bringing in. That's one thing I feel like people don't realize how much more equipment video takes than photo.
Right.
I mean, you could have all the photo equipment you want in the world, and I know it's a lot of the same stuff sometimes, but like you have to have so much more like microphones, you know, the connectors and all the things.
Get
It's
the
insane.
connectors. Got to bring those connectors.
Whatever those are. The little Doomahoochers that have buttons on them.
Yeah. Tripods, light stands,
Crazy.
the lights themselves,
Yeah, I'm like, where's the sun?
a bunch of
That's
stuff.
me.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah, definitely when we're outside.
Yeah.
I prefer, natural light, and
Yeah.
I really like harsh shadows
Do you?
for like details.
Oh, like, what do you mean details?
Well, like I don't know, like for like the flat lay or
Oh, yeah. Like a cast of shadow and
yeah,
like harsh
like
light.
yeah, like I like the contrast of
Yeah.
light and shadow,
I definitely like that too.
and so I feel like that's probably the main difference. I feel like for photos.
Yeah, I feel like I always go for like pretty neutral lighting as
Right.
best as I can. And but there is times where I love like anything like that's really drastic like that because it can look very editorial Vogue like.
Right.
And I
right.
love that look.
Yeah.
But cuz it also depends on like the wedding too.
True.
Yeah. If it's like more that vibe, I go that route, or if it's, another way. But like, what's one thing that you like, say like a bride and groom who's looking for a videographer, what is one thing that you wish they would know more of?
Oh boy.
Dun dun dun.
One thing that I wish,
or maybe even the booking process or something.
So I mean, honestly, if you're looking for a videographer, and this may be the same for photos, I don't know, but and they ask you to get on a phone call, like get on the phone call, because it's not just like, because I feel like wedding video is still somewhat new.
I would say that I could agree to that.
It's not as like popular, or I feel like photos are like more of the main, like, oh, we have to have photos,
mandatory,
and then like almost. We can get video if we can afford it.
Yeah, I agree.
But there's just so much more to knowing about the process of having a wedding videographer. Like a lot of times when I talk to couples or brides, most of the time I'm kind of like educating them on what exactly is gonna kind of go on, what exactly, like what kind of videos you can get.
Because there's a lot of different options. Like you have a highlight, you have like full, like I don't even know. We work together, I swear. It's just more or less like you have a lot of more options, like drone. You have all kinds of options.
Drone, like we'll do a highlight, which is mainly what you'll see on like video on social media and websites.
Like, how long is that typically?
Like 5 to 7 minutes or something like that. So highlight videos, we can do reception edit, where it's like all the main events of the reception.
I see.
Compiled into one. It's more like documentary style.
Yeah.
Ceremony edit, you can watch the whole thing from like, usually I'll bring 3 or 4 cameras to.
That's crazy.
Yeah, put on tripods.
3 or 4 cameras.
We'll cut between live streaming. I've done live streaming.
Well, that's normal for photo, video. I just can't imagine the price tag on that.
Yeah.
Sometimes like it gets up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, there's definitely a lot that we can offer. So I don't know what photo.
I would say like for photo, like one thing I wish more like bride and grooms knew, I would definitely say find a photographer that you feel like you can be friends with, you can, it fits your personality, because I think that's like one of the biggest things is like making sure your photographer is like someone that you want to talk to and want to be around. Because like everyone's so different, like our personalities are so different, but I'm not really a shy person. I'm definitely like out there and can talk all day if you let me. And I think that's what also why I do this job, is because it's,
right.
You got to bring people's personality out and stuff like that, and you want to have a fun experience with your photographer. So I definitely would say like I think it's so important to like not necessarily like interview your photographer, but get on a phone call, chat with them, see their vibe, and make sure that you would fit well working together, because you are together the whole entire day. I'm your stalker.
Definitely.
Like you go to the bar, I'm going to the bar. You go to the bathroom, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm just kidding. But basically like I stalk y'all throughout the whole entire day. So like I want to be like your advocate, your third wheel, like your friend, like all these things.
Definitely.
All in one, but also picking a photographer that matches your style.
Right.
Like that, if you're like more of a moodier, grungier style, and mine is light, more like warmth, stuff like that, we wouldn't work together, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be fair to you as a bride or groom or fair to me, to like match your style that I don't specialize in.
Right.
So I think that's super important. Like pick your photographer with the style that they showcase, a consistent look,
That's funny, because I'm kind of the opposite.
Yeah, it's so different. So we need like a line here.
Yeah,
because a little tape.
Like the way I do videos, like the look, like the colors of it will be the same, but it's like the editing style.
I see.
That I like to do different. Yeah, so I don't, because a lot of, not maybe not a lot of, but a lot of the times videographers will do like the same kind of video for each wedding, like no matter what.
Yeah.
And so they're just kind of like cookie cutter.
They are.
And so like for me, like I just could not do that. Like I could not just sit there and edit the same wedding for each couple.
It's like there are so many couples that have so much like different stuff happening at their wedding, right? Because like I don't show motion, you do. Yeah. So it's like there's so much more. Yeah. That I bet is so different per wedding.
And like I want my videos to reflect the personalities of the couples, and because like I've done one more like where they're just kind of more low key and chill, and some weddings are like more faith based, and so it's like a lot more of the ceremony and the officiant talking and overlaying with like B-roll and stuff. But then others are like partiers, and it's a lot more upbeat and like, you know, so like I want the videos to reflect
this is a very serious question.
Yeah.
Have you ever danced really hard at a wedding being a vendor? Have they ever like brought you in and like been twerk?
No.
Nothing? No? Nothing?
No.
I can't take you serious until you've done that one time. I have.
Yeah. That's
jump
good.
in, you jump in, you just do a little jig, and everyone's like, "Whoa, so cool," and you leave. That's how you do it.
Whoa.
Yeah,
wow.
whoa. Like the Australian breakdancers. So I did a wedding.
Oh yeah.
In Temple, and someone dragged me into the middle, and I did my little kangaroo. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That was
at
my
the
dance
Olympics.
move, and then I peaced out.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yep. And I got a good review.
She danced well.
Danced well, kangaroo.
Nice.
From the Olympics. Ray
awesome.
gun.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like that's like a lot of stuff. It's just like picking your photographer, picking your videographer, and I hope that other photographers and videographers can relate to this, because I do feel like we all have our own ideal client.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I would love to be a part of anyone's wedding day, anyone's love story. I love that. I mean, that's why I do what I do. But at the end of the day, I do think that we all have our ideal client, our ideal vendor to work with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not my own ideal client, I think, a lot of the times. I think I didn't pick my own style for my own wedding day that I do myself. I picked a more Western, like super warmth style for my wedding day, and I don't do that specific look.
Oh, gotcha.
Which you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's so funny how that works, but I do love my own style that I share. So it's just like, I think it all depends on who you find and who you connect with and what their work is.
Yeah.
And it's all like social media based, right? So it's like I've always been told that like you have 7 seconds on someone's profile before they exit out of it to catch their attention.
Right.
That's what a management coach told me. I did a call with her, and she's taught me a lot about social media and stuff. So like when you see someone's profile within 7 seconds, that is what someone will just swipe in and out of. Like if it catches their attention, they'll stay, they'll give you a follow, they'll look at your stuff. If it doesn't, they'll swipe right out instantly. So I think it's really important to like, you know, I don't know where that came from. You're welcome.
Nice. Little social media tip. Yeah.
Pro tip. So, thank you for being involved in that. Engaged in that
what?
Little. Never mind.
Oh, it's like I'm here. This is my idea.
Yeah. Right. But anyways, is there anything else you want to share? Like maybe like a really crazy wedding story.
Nothing I can think of. I'd have to think
away
of
at the reception.
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't me. That would be. That's probably like one of my worst fears, though. Is like something like that, like that.
Way to go, Meemaw. Make it about yourself.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Rest in peace, man. That would be horrible. Like just like Meemaw, just like having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff. That is like the worst thing that could ever happen for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really, not off the top of my head, I can't think of like a crazy story.
I have two.
You have two?
I have two. One's not that bad. One is a recent wedding I did like 2 months ago, or a month ago. And it was in Temple, and it was a Catholic wedding. Mind you, I'm not Catholic, so it's kind of like some things I still have to like learn about. Like,
right.
You know, there's a lot of rules for vendors and photographers and videographers at Catholic weddings. It's just a different world.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like, mind you, I'm just kind of like on the unknown. I always kind of just like play it by ear. you know, and I guess my wedding person is Catholic. Like the wedding me is Catholic, I guess.
What?
Never mind. Anyways, but it's Catholic wedding. There's a priest. The priest was very serious, like very, very serious, which respect.
Right. Yeah. I feel like
but
they mostly are.
And this is like, I'm not gonna name names. I'm not the person to talk mess about my clients because I do love them, but it was kind of like the timeline wasn't like, I wouldn't say done like super, super well. Like where like we had enough time to do this and do that and do this. So we were like on a really, really tight timeline.
Yeah.
And there was just things that fell differently for this wedding, right? So, but we had 10 minutes, if that, for bride and groom portraits post ceremony. And it was about like, it was like sunset was like 10 minutes away. Yeah. So there was like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So the ceremony ended. We go outside really fast to grab as much photos as we can, right, for the bride and groom portraits. The priest comes out there yelling at us.
He's yelling? Priest. Why?
Yeah, and I'm like, you know, like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, the priest is yelling at us to hurry up because he wanted to leave.
Well...
I'm like, go home, I don't know. And so, but he wanted a photo at the altar with the bride and groom so he could go home.
Oh,
I didn't realize that. But, and the wedding planner was with us and she was like, we're busy right now. Like, we'll be in just a second. Mind you, it was like directly after the ceremony. There's usually like family formals were going to be right after. So it gives time people to exit and stuff like that.
Right.
The priest came out like 3 times yelling at us. Like, absolutely, like, this is disrespectful. I can't remember exactly what he said. But he was like, you know, respectfully, this is ridiculous. And I was like, it's their wedding day. Let them be. Dang, we'll be right there, Joseph.
So he came out 3 times in the span of 10 minutes?
Span of 10 minutes. It wasn't like we were being like really respectful and stuff. But I think that's one of the things that really caught me off guard.
Yeah.
That I couldn't believe. And I felt bad for the bride and groom because they were like, they couldn't enjoy the moment. And it was just very like hectic. And I think it kind of like took away their excitement of just getting married.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like it hurt my feelings. Yeah. You know, I'm like, wait a minute, like hold on, give us like 2 seconds, we'll be right in. But there was that. And then I had another wedding in 2023, and it was where the father of the bride got arrested at the reception.
Oh my gosh. Cops
and all. Yeah. And I'm not naming names, super sweet couple, I love them, but they were So the brides, you know, I think this is something that we talk about. Like, I always ask my couples, like, do you have any family situations that I should be aware of?
Yeah.
You know, divorced parents, stuff like that, because it comes in terms of like family formals, like where you want to place people, and just out of being respectful, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And so it was one of those times where like there was like a little bit of like a tense situation happening, and so with that being said, the father of the bride. It's like kind of confusing. So the mother of the bride had a boyfriend. The father of the bride was there, just like, you know, at the wedding. Apparently the mother of the bride's boyfriend and the father of the bride got into an altercation, and the father of the bride punched that guy.
Dang.
I know. I didn't have my camera. I was like going to the bathroom and I saw it and I was like, what? I would have taken a photo. Like, wait, let me take a photo of this.
Can we do it again?
Yeah, one more time. Look at me. But yeah, so the cops were called and he was arrested before the dance, he got to dance with his daughter.
Oh no.
Straight up arrested.
Jeez.
And it was all Spanish. So I did not know what was happening. I did not know what was happening. It was all like fast Spanish. You know, and like you know something's going on because like, they're really mad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm as Caucasian as they come.
Yeah.
So like
Same.
Yeah. Sure. Remember those Spanish friend, right? You're Spanish, right?
Yes, I am Mexican.
Okay.
But I was adopted, so I was actually raised by white people.
You've told me that. That's right.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know Spanish either.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. I love it. Cool. Just a little.
It's funny because I did a wedding for my friends. Like, I knew them in high school. Mm-hmm. And I obviously know that they speak Spanish, and I shot their wedding without realizing that their family also speaks Spanish.
Oh,
so the ceremony was in Spanish.
That's tough.
And then, they got a full ceremony edit, so I don't know what the heck they're saying. Oh. So I'm like, wait,
I didn't think
how am I going to edit this?
Yeah, because photo.
Yeah, like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, like no one's gonna have audio on that.
Right. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But so then I was like, wait.
They probably thought. He
but
knows.
Good. there was a little girl, and she was like 4. There was 2 of them, and
Was
they're
she helping you out?
No, well, I wanted to go film them because they were like with a mom or grandma or something, looking at like cows or horses that were in the area, and they spoke Spanish, and I know enough Spanish to talk to a 4-year-old, so that's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You're
So,
like, all right, little girl, help me out here. What's going on? Give me the details. Literally. But yeah, so that's the only wedding that I've ever done that was full in Spanish. The bride and groom spoke English, that was
Right.
like but they definitely, they seemed like they preferred, speaking in like Spanish and stuff like that. But I was like, all I know is baños, the bathroom.
Oh, it's like I don't even know what you said right there.
Come on.
No, I know what.
Baños. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways. Yep.
Nice.
I don't want to get canceled for saying any of that. So please when you look that, please like go back and like do me good, right?
Nah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like a really good we're kind of all over the place a little bit. But
Yeah, I
like
mean it's fine though.
podcast,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's the whole point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're good. I think next episode
Yes.
will be
At the Earl Harrison
at the Earl Harrison house
with Georgia.
in Waco. So we will actually be there,
Yes.
showcasing it a little bit. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I think we'll kind of throughout our episodes, we're going to kind of like explore a little bit with like wedding vendors as far as
Right.
like, sceneries and like different locations. So you won't always see us here, and you'll kind of see us kind of customize our space over
Right.
time.
Kind of build it out a little bit.
Yeah, so we'll start kind of getting our rhythm down, but I'm excited to like talk to other people, and hopefully like I want to do like a Q&A with like brides and grooms. That
Yeah.
would be fun.
Yeah.
So if you ever have any questions, like that would be fun for us to kind of talk about. So, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, I'm excited. We'll wrap it up and
Yeah.
I
Could
guess
you do like
go
a
to-
high five or something?
No.
High five me. High five me. Finger vows. High five me.
Do it now.
But yeah, I'm happy with that. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm also hungry, so
Food.
yeah.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Thanks for joining us on the Vendor Vows podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel.
If you have any questions you'd like us to answer, or if you're a vendor and would like to be featured on an upcoming episode, please shoot us an email at vendorvowspodcast@gmail.com. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.